Okay, so we are recording. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday. I woke up. I took a nap. Honestly, I'm just not even gonna lie to you guys. And I hardly have a voice, so I'm sorry if I cut out. But it's okay. I'm not talking. It's just gonna be Kortney. So, Kortney, you should be able to unmute yourself. And I just kind of want you to start by sharing your story, just for anyone who doesn't know who you are, and then we'll kind of just go from there.
Okay, you just want a short version of my story?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever you want to share, it's fine.
Okay, so my name is Kortney Lavey. I'm an ambassador diamond, and I have this my phone all rigged up over here because my husband is in the living room, and I was just I can't concentrate. But anyways, so I joined this business in April of 2015. I joined on a Kortney board, just like a lot of us have, and I followed her on social media for literally over a year. I even unfollowed her. I was that girl that was there's no way this 18-year-old girl, she might have been 19. I was there's no way at this age, she makes this much money. There's no way. And so she was cute. She had a great Instagram and stuff, but I was there's just no way. I thought it was kind of like a pyramid scheme, or it just didn't really work. And so I just unfollowed her, didn't think anything about it. Well, then she ended up following me again, a few weeks later. And I was I think she was just going on a following spree. And so I ended up following her back. I was oh, she's cute, whatever. I keep looking at her posts, so I'll just whatever. And so then I followed her for a while. I was never interested in the business, never. Like I said, I saw her post, but I just didn't think that is not for me. I was going to school full time at Oklahoma State, finishing up my degree. I was working full time for a hospital, and I was planning my dream wedding. And I just thought, the normal 9 to 5, using my degree, working for corporate America. I was so excited about my career path that I was going down. So I was that's just going to be my normal thing. My parents, they both worked full-time jobs. They both, made great incomes, and they had cattle and stuff on the side and everything. But I was just always used to that 9 to 5, 2 parents working, 2 incomes. That's just what I was used to. And so Ryan's my husband. We've been married we've been married a little over 4 years, but we've been together almost 12. We started dating in high school, and his dad passed away at 42 from a brain aneurysm. And I was in Stillwater. Me and Ryan were living 2 hours away from each other. And I just found myself every weekend wanting to be with him. I'm I needed to be there for his family. His dad was my dad. We had been together at this time 7, almost 8 years. And, so we were so close too. And so I just found myself on weekends wanting to be with him instead of working. I was working almost 50 hours a week. So I was working Saturdays and Sundays. And I just didn't have the time, when you're driving 2 hours one way, it was just so crazy. And I remember thinking there's got to be something more, there's got to be something else. If I could just earn an extra income on the side that would compensate for the overtime I was working, then that would give me more time to spend my weekends with him. Wasn't even thinking about quitting my full-time job. Wasn't thinking about anything rather than just making an extra couple $100 a month. That way I wouldn't have to work weekends. I thought about, babysitting, but then I'm well, I'm still not going to get to be with them. Thought about, just extra things I could do during the week. And I'm already working 50 hours a week. So I'm what am I going to do? And Kortney's post came up, and I'll never forget the post. It was, and I said that it's kind of when sometimes I get into a deal, what do I post? With the blogger style stuff, what is it? I always think what is it that caught my attention? What is that one post that got me okay, I'm messaging this girl. And I'll never forget her post. She had just went out to dinner with her family, and she was able to pick up the tab. And she was talking about how her age. And I'm wouldn't that be the coolest thing to be 18, 19 years old and be able to pay for your family's dinner when you go out to dinner? My parents were still paying for my car. They were still paying, working on paying for my wedding. They were paying pretty much my rent. I was still my parents were still paying for a lot of things. And I'm and I was 24. And so I'm I didn't get my crap together. This girl is almost 19 and able to buy her parents dinner. I've never, I don't think, been able to just pick up the tab. And so I commented on her post, and she I did back then, she got emails. And so I left my email, and she didn't ever email me. And I was okay. But back then she got so many comments with email addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff. And so she never texted, never emailed me or anything. So a couple days later, I saw another post, and so I commented on it again. And I was hey, you never sent me an email. So then she messaged me, and she was oh, what's your email? I'll send you over some info. And I talked to her via email, for 4 or 5 emails. And I joined, like, as soon as I got off work, I went home and I joined. And it was just so crazy. Like, I joined on the spot right after talking to her. And I was just kind of had that mindset, like, if it fails, it fails, but at least I'm going to try. And so I joined off the spot, and it was so crazy, just like how that one decision completely changed our lives, like that day, like changed the course of everything. Within 1 month, I went diamond. And then my second month, I went double diamond. My third month, I went triple diamond. And then my fourth month, I went presidential diamond. And then at my 11-month mark, I promoted to the highest rank in the company, which is an ambassador diamond. And then opened up my 2.0 spot. And ever since, all of the life, it's April will be almost 5 years with this business. 5 months after joining the business, I left corporate America, got to pay cash for my wedding. And my parents didn't have to fork out anything. So I got to pay them back for all those dinners I didn't pay for just by paying for my wedding. And so then I was able to help. Actually, I opened up a spot for my mom, like on my team, and I worked the business for her. And I've been able to help them pay over $40,000 in debt off. And they're so close to being completely debt free. So like just that, it's like something I could give back to them, just giving them that extra income a month. Just so I feel like I kind of paid them back over the last almost 30 years. But now I'm a mom. I married to my husband. We have a 3-year-old. He just turned 3 yesterday. And I've been a full-time work from home mom since September of 2015. Sorry, after 5 years, like that starts to your story becomes like really long.
No, you're totally fine. I have no words. Like even last time we were on like the opportunity Zoom, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I remember like the first time ever hearing your story. I think I was like a week in, and I was like, she's like boosting herself so hard right now. I was like, there's no way this is true. I remember that like so vividly because that was hilarious. But I freaking love your story. You're like one of my favorite humans. So if you,
I remember the first time I met you, you just stood there, like I hugged you, and you were just like,
I almost passed out.
You're like a scared little puppy dog.
Literally, I was
I'm gonna hug you
in Dallas. I grabbed Shay. I was like,
so funny.
It's Kortney Lavey. I nearly almost had a heart attack. That was so funny.
Just a hot mess.
Okay, so if you guys have not seen Kortney lately, girl is popping up these pop-up shops. So I wanted to get her on here because, like, honestly, you guys, like, I'm terrified. That is like, I'm so scared to do them. Like, and I'm like super green. Like, if you don't know me, but like, I'm like one of those people, like, I have to have all the details. And so, like, if I don't have everything, I physically am, like, incapable of doing it, like, in my head at least. So I went and bought the Amazon thing. I have a table. Like, I have all this stuff. I just seriously don't know what to do with it. So I wanted to get her on, and I'm sure I know a lot of girls on my team wanted to like learn about these as well. So I'm super excited to just like pick your brain. I have like 4 questions for her. So if any of you guys have questions throughout this, please blow up the chat. I have it open to be able to look. But the first thing I wanted to ask was like, how do you approach asking someone about doing a pop-up? And then like, how do you even decide where to do them? So like, I know obviously you live in Oklahoma, and like, I know there's like super cute boutiques. So like, I want you to explain like your literal whole process about that.
Yeah, so I think like what a lot of people do, and I'm so polar, like opposite of you. Like you're so green, and I'm like not. Like I'm just kind of like a trial and error type person. Like I'm just gonna do it, and then like I might fall on my face, but like I'm gonna kind of like, okay, I did this. Okay, I need to do something different, and kind of just like trial and error. So I kind of figure out my groove and stuff. And I really wasn't like I said. I've never done anything in person. I've never done pop-ups. I've never done parties. Never done vendor events. I've always like thought in the back of my head like that could be something I was interested in because I love to talk. I love to be in front of people. And I do feel like one of my strong points is like being in person and stuff. I just always had a social media platform, so I just never had to. But I always thought they'd be fun. I just didn't really know where to start either. And actually Hillary Griffin is on my team, and she is amazing. She's about to go diamond. And she's like one of those people, she loves to be in person, and she loves that authenticity of like interaction and communication and kind of bringing like people into your network. And we were just talking, and I was like, I don't even understand these pop-ups. Like we were just talking, and I was like, explain them to me. Like she's under me, and she's like, okay. She's like, I'm so excited. And so she was kind of telling me more about like how you like what they were kind of like, because I was kind of confused. I'm like, are they just like vendor events? Like are they just like booths? And she's like, no. And so like we were just talking and stuff, and I got super pumped. I remember the night that we like started talking and decided to like do them together, I was like already making a list and already like reaching out to people. So the first thing I did, just kind of like when you enroll in a distributor, I started making a list of everybody that I knew that owned a business, that was an entrepreneur or just owned a business that had an actual store. So whether they owned a boutique, if they owned a hair salon, even if they worked in the hair salon, like if they do hair, you know, like anybody that I knew that was like had their own business or had their own like room. And so I just made a list. I started like thinking of every single person, like insurance companies, boutiques, you know, any kind of store like that, banks, anywhere that has foot traffic, anywhere that people are coming in daily, no matter what. So people always have to go to the bank. People are always coming in to check you out with like their insurance stuff. People are always getting their hair done. Like hairstylists work almost 7 days a week. And boutiques, people are always shopping. And so I was literally just thinking of everywhere that I could think of that have a lot of foot traffic. And you can also do booths like vendor events where there's bridal shows. Like there's always tons of different like places where you can set up a booth where a lot of people are. But the first one that I actually did was from where I'm from. We set up, and it was in a boutique with a girl that I know, that I knew in high school. And they like set it up. They had like a ladies' night out, and they do it like every couple of months. So whenever I reached out to them and stuff, we started talking about different events that they have going on to where there would be even more foot traffic rather than just like the business hours. And so the only thing I did was like, hey girl, like if I know them, like it's my approach was just like, hey girl, text me whenever you get a chance. I want to run something by you. Super simple. I mean, especially if you know them, like just talk to them like you would talk to them if you saw them. And then she messaged me back and she's like, hey girl, what's up? And I just said, do you guys ever do pop-ups in your boutique? And she was like, actually, we've done one before. And then she said, we love them. And she was like, are you wanting to come in? She kind of opened up the door for me that time because she knew what I did. Like she's watched me. She knows I have a business. She knows what products I have. I just said, yes, is there a good time? Like, do you think there's a good time we could get set up, or do you have any events coming up? You know, kind of just like to brainstorm. So we got to thinking about dates. Like I just kept it super simple. Like she knew what a pop-up was. So that was kind of easy for me too. And then she was like, we actually have a holiday, you know, shopping event coming up. It's a 2-day event. She's like, gave me the hours and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, and we just set it up right then. So we went there. We did it for Friday and Saturday. We popped up. And we actually stayed, like you can just pop up for a couple of hours, but we did stay all day on Saturday, and then we stayed for a few hours like on Friday. But so then if it's more of people, like I did that to everybody. Like I literally went through my list of everybody that I knew, hairdressers, and just got appointments. And most of them are like, they don't know what it is. They're like, or they are big on social media, but they have never done a pop-up. They're like, I've seen them, you know, I've heard about them. So what would you be doing? So just to explain, like I'm going to pop up a booth. I'll have a table set up. A few of my products for people to sample. I'll sell or give away, kind of just depending on what you want to do. Coffee samples for our fat burning coffee. And I'll also have a few other skincare products, or, you know, just kind of like just different products that we were going to talk about here in a second. And popping up so people can sample it. And that way we kind of get that in-person communication. And I just tell them, and also we'll be collaborating. So I'll post on my social media where I'll be at. I'll promote your brand to tell people that I will be there. So if they're wanting to try my products and they're wanting to come see me, then they're going to get that foot traffic in the door. Like that's going to get them inside the store. So when people are there, and so I got to where I was calling them sipping, or what was it? We were doing sip and shop like events. And so we just put on there a sip and shop, like they can come in, they can sample, or you can do a sample and shop. Like people are coming in to shop, they can also sample your products. And then after I went through all of those people, and some of them we scheduled for just like a month or two out, they couldn't do, like there wasn't anything really going on in the next couple of weeks. And right now it's kind of the holiday season, so just things are hectic. But you just get a date down, you know, my goal was to get like 5 to 10 a month. Like that's what I've been working on. It's like 5 to 10 a month. Because if you think about it, guys, like if you do these deals and you say you do 5 a month and you can sign 3 customers from that, that's 15 customers. That's in person. Like that's going to make it to where always be present on social media, but that's not going to be like, you're going to bring people into your social media, but you're also going to be able to get that in-person communication. And those, like, what literally we just like sign customers. What took us 5 minutes would take us 2 days over the phone trying to get an order in. Like you just literally, like that's how simple it is. And it can literally, if you do 5 days a month, that frees up 25 days. Like I said, that's like could be 15, 20 customers, if not more, in just a 5-day window. And so that's kind of how we got to thinking about it. And then for people that I didn't know, I went through where I live at now in Duncan, went through Ada, and then went through like some of the surrounding towns and just went on my Instagram and typed in, or I actually went to Google is what I did. And I typed in boutiques in Duncan. And they pulled up every boutique. So what I would do is I'd go to Instagram or Facebook to see if they had a page. Like, do they have an Instagram or a Facebook page to where I can still communicate on social media? They can see what I'm about. They can see my presence. They can see how many followers I have, or, you know, they can kind of check me out before, like, when they're, like, communicating. And so I would look and see if they had a Facebook page or an Instagram page. And then I would contact them via Instagram or Facebook. If they are local to me, I actually like going in the store and like look around and kind of shop, and then just like be like, hey, like, do you guys ever do pop-ups? And they'd be like, oh, tell me about them. Like, you're going into these stores anyways, and so it's not weird just to be like, hey, this would be the perfect place to do a pop-up. Like, have you guys ever done them? It'll be so good for traffic in here. And sorry, my phone is being dumb. Anyways, so that's kind of how I started just reaching out to people. Started, like I said, with a brand, like I do a brand new distributor, like reaching their market is like everybody that I knew that owns a business, anybody that I knew that like has a booth somewhere that I could just get the traffic in. Like I said, there's one girl, we're doing one that wants me to do one on Saturday. She's doing a like her opening of her hair salon. She's like, come in and do it. Like, come in and pop up. Like, so if people know that you're doing them, I even like leave like an open thing. Like, if you guys own a business and you're interested in collaborating, reach out to me so that we can talk about a collaboration and we can get more traffic in your door. Anything like that. But basically it's really cool because you're bringing these people into your social media while also like interacting in person and stuff too. I get really excited talking about them.
No, you're fine. I'm over here like, I'm like the cat on the keyboard, like typing down so many notes so I can type faster than I can write. Okay. Oh my gosh. So before I forget to ask this, I'm just going to go ahead and ask some questions in the chat. But Molly said, do you take down everyone's info that you talk to at your pop-up, and how do you do it?
Okay. Yeah. So it kind of just depends. Like there's going to be some events that you go to that are like really, really busy, and you're like, it's just like, that's why sometimes it's good to have more than one. And it's also like not as scary when you have somebody there with you. So me and Hillary have done them together. Me and Kristen have done them together. I've never been done one by myself yet, but it's kind of fun just to have a partner there. But we would do a usually promoted giveaway. So like if we're doing the one with Diamond Tribe, like the $1,200 giveaway or anything like that, we would put like on our sign, like enter into our $1,200 giveaway, you know, contact me for more info or something like that. And we also would put our Instagram like handles like on a like chalkboard or anything like that for people to follow us. And when we're just talking, they sip or they sample it, and I'm like, what do you think? Like, do you like the taste? And they're usually like, oh, this is good. Like, just talking about the product. And then like talking in person. And then I had like 3 clipboards with like 10 to 20 order forms on there. And then you give them the order form, explain how to fill it out. They fill it out. You talk about the products, and then they give it to you. And I'm like, okay, fill this out. We're going to fill this out, fill out what you want, put all your information in. I'm going to process it for you tonight, and I'll send you the confirmation number. That way they're filling it out, and then you process them in the evening. And that way you're not having to sit there and process it. Like if it's slow, like we had an iPad and we would do it in person. But if it's busy, then you kind of just want to get those orders in and just give them a clipboard, let them fill out the order form that you send to loyal customers anyways, and then do them in the evening and then just send them their confirmation, because like all their info is going to be on the order form. But to enter the giveaway, we would have them be like, okay, to enter into our free giveaway, we would tell them to put their name and their phone number down, and then we would do a drawing later. And like, because we would even do a drawing like for a free month supply of a product, or a free, just something on our own. And so then I kind of got this from actually one of the ones I heard like a long time ago. It was like they would do a wrap giveaway, and then they would have all these names and phone numbers, But then when the person, like if they didn't win, they would text them and be like, hey girl, like we did the drawing, like you actually didn't win, but I have a wrap on hand that you could buy for $25. Like we also have some really discounted. Like you would just tell them, you didn't win the drawing, but I know you didn't win, but I'll give you a really good discount if you still want to order. So that way, like you're still, like you have their name, you have their phone number. And so you're just contacting them just like you would if you got their number on social media. So when you have a drawing, have them, if they come to your booth, enter their name and phone number just to enter the drawing. And then if they want to order, have them fill out the order form and then just give it back to you. And then you just process it that evening or like when you get a free minute.
Okay, that is genius. I remember I looked at one of the pictures that you posted.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was looking at one of the pictures of the table you posted and I saw like a clipboard and I was like, okay, guess I need to add a clipboard to this. And I bought this like clipboard that was like $2 off of Amazon. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing with this, but I have it. So I'm glad that I know what to do with this clipboard now, which is exciting.
Yes, and the Dollar Tree has tons of stuff. I didn't even realize what all the Dollar Tree had. So Hillary was like, I can get that at the Dollar Tree. And I was like, they have that? It's like I went in there and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't think I've ever been into Dollar Tree in like probably 10 years. And they had the coolest stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is $1.
I love that. That's so funny. Okay, so the next question that I have for you was, what are your go-to products for the pop-up, obviously? And then someone also asked in the chat, how do you go about selling the products as sample packs? If you want to like combine those, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So I do anything like that we can mix just either with water or that we have on the go of. So we do, and we actually pre-make it. So that way you can just give, like you pour it just in a little sample cup and they can try it. All the ones that I've done, we've actually just given the samples away for free just because we literally did like little samples just for them to taste it. But if you do bigger samples, you can sell them for like $1 or $2 or whatever you want to do, just depending on like Maurice's, like when we did that, we couldn't sell the products, but we would just do like little tiny just taste samples so they could taste it. But I've always done, we do the chocolate greens and the coffee mixed together because that's an upsell. So it's mocha dream. And so whenever you're talking to them, you talk to them about the coffee, the mocha dream, and the discount that they're going to get by ordering that. Like you just talk about it as in 1 month supply, one product, like the chocolate greens, the benefits of that and everything. So we just mix that together and pre-make it. Then we did collagen, reds, greens, and then we also have done celery. We don't have like samples of like, we don't have like the sample sizes of it. So you can just pre-make it and mix it in with water and then just make sure in your jug and stuff. That way you can give samples of it if people want to taste it. But those are the 5 main ones that we've done. And then we kind of just put like a wrap or two like out on the table, like a facial, a wrap, thermophyte, like our main like weight loss products. So they can't really sample because they're not going to get like a result of it. But if they wanted to see like just the packaging or they want to see the size of the pill or something like that, like you have it, you can show them. But every time, so we've pre-made the coffee and grains mixed together because like I said, it's an upsell. So we don't just talk about the coffee as one. We talk about it together. And I just bought, you can do the Yetis if you want. I actually got a lot of these tips from Kay Souter. I talked to her quite a bit before I did my first one. And I got this like big, she has a Yeti, but I got one from Walmart for like $15. And it's a pretty big, like, I don't even know how to show you guys, but it's like not I don't even know what size it is. Like not the biggest like Yeti you drink, but it's like a container. Like, I don't even know how much it holds, like more than 32 ounces. Like it holds like a lot. And it honestly keeps it hot. We did one in Maurice's and it kept it hot for, probably 6-7 hours, if not longer. So I would just make a cup at a time. Just so I kind of knew like I was getting all like the stuff in there and I would just pour it into the container. And so I was like, I think it was holding like 5 cups, I think, of coffee. And I said, it was just chocolate greens and the coffee. Like I wasn't mixing any creamer or anything like that with it. It was just the two together, pre-making it, putting it in that thermos. And like I said, it stayed hot for longer than 7 hours. Like it was still like when you poured it in the thing, it was still steamy hot. So, and then there's these really cool, clear like canister. They're really cute. They have like a little top thingy on them. You can get at Dollar Tree for $1. And then you pre-make like the collagen and the celery and the reds and the greens. And it actually looks really pretty on your table. I just put them in like a canister type thing where people can see them. You could always put ice in it if you wanted to. That's kind of messy. But so I just kind of keep it either at room temperature or put ice like in the bottle. But yeah, it's so cool. And then we also have a lot of, I had like the immunity tablets like there if they wanted to try it, because I took my white Keurig with me in case I needed to make more coffee depending on how busy it was going to be. And that way if they wanted to try immunity, I could just put it, I like it hot. And so I could always just like put a little tablet in there and let them taste it. So that's just the ones that we've done. It's anything that you can sample just like with water and like mix it up. But I haven't had one person not like the taste of the coffee and chocolate greens together. Like everybody was like, oh my gosh, this tastes so much better. Like I didn't think it was going to like taste very good. And like they were just so excited they could sample it before they ordered.
Yeah, I love that. That's like so smart. So kind of going off of that, I just have like a on the spot question. Do you do like sample packs like on Instagram ever, like selling them like on, not like on your stories, but you know what I mean? Like people that like come to you or anything?
I offer them sometimes, like if it's on my social media and they're not ready to like commit to a month's supply, I'll say I do have a sample, like if you want to buy a sample and then sell them that way. And I would send, you know, chocolate greens and coffee. If they just wanted coffee, like I would do that too. But just like with the pop-ups, I'd mix the two just because it's an upsell. And I think it honestly tastes better with the chocolate greens and with the coffee. Kind of gives a little bit more of like a chocolatey flavor kind of. But if they want just the coffee, then I can send them, because like if they just do the coffee, like if I'm on social media, I can send them directions on how to make it to make it taste really good, because I want them to love it. So it's like I can tell them how to do it with the cinnamon and the creamer and all of that stuff. But if it's like if I'm offering it right then, I can't add all of that stuff to it. So that's why I do like the two together. But if people do come to me and they want a sample, I'll mail them a sample. I usually do, I think the most I've sold together is like 3, I think, together. But I don't do them a lot. Like I'll offer them to just like, I don't really post about them either. Like sample packs, I just like if they're not ready to buy a month's supply, I tell them I'll send them a sample.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. And then also someone asked in the chat, do you always use a bigger table or do you use card tables? So like, I know like the one picture I use, like your table is big. Is that like one that you brought, or did like the boutique have that?
It kind of just depends on like where you're popping up. And like if they have a table available, because you might just say, do you have a table available that you want us to use, or do I need to bring my own? And so it kind of like depends. They'll usually tell you like how much space you have. And so that way, you know, kind of like how big of a table you need. And so I've seen, you know, like when we were at Maurice's, it was more like a card table. We were right at the front. It was just a square. It was a smaller table. But then the bigger one that we had at the boutique that we did, Jennifer already had the table. And so we just set up using her table. But usually they'll like, if you just ask, say, do you have a table I can use, or do I need to bring my own? And then like you can kind of go off of that. But usually they'll kind of tell you how much space you have, so you kind of know kind of what size you need to do and kind of what you need to use to set up. But when we set up, we used a lot of stuff we already had. Like you guys can do these. You don't have to spend a ton of money to start these up. Like the first one we did, I was kind of like last minute, and it was like I wasn't going to be able to get a ton of products like in before we started, because like shipping and stuff, I just wasn't going to have time. And so me and Hillary came together and we're like, okay, I have this on hand. I have this on hand. I have this on hand. Okay. And then we used just what we had on hand already is what we used. And we decorated the table with like our home decorations. I brought my white Keurig. She brought like a couple little cute cactus plants she had in her house that she used for decorations. Like you don't have to like invest a ton of money to be popping up. Like you don't have to do, like if you want to buy the pop-up package that they have on eSuite, it is so nice. You're going to get all the products and all of that stuff. And it's like really, it's pretty good BV for it too. But even if you just want to do like your favorites, just do 1 or 2 like when you're just getting started. Because even if you don't have a lot of money, you don't want to invest in hundreds of dollars worth of products. But I said, just use what you have. Like they don't have to be super expensive. Just use what you have and go off of that. If you have coffee, do the coffee. If you have greens and reds, pop up using those, because everybody wants fruits and vegetables. But and if, like I said, if you have clipboards on hand, like I said, Dollar Tree has like everything, like the supplies, the little sample cups, the containers, like everything besides the $15 like deal I got at Walmart was pretty much all from the Dollar Tree. Like you guys do not have to be spending a ton of money to start these up.
Yeah, I love that. And that was actually my next question was like, I know like I'm like super extra and like I went and bought like the Amazon thing, but I was like, what do you do if you like don't want to do that? Because that's like one thing I was like, I feel like I like in my head, I was like, I can't do a pop-up. I don't have the pop-up thing, but like obviously you can. So like, what are your, I mean, I guess you kind of answered this, but like your go-to tools if you don't want to do the whole, what's it called? I just forgot.
Like the whole pop-up,
Like yeah, like the whole table thing. Like, what are your like, go-to tools?
And what I like too, you guys, is you can make it your own, like your own personality. Like I've been like redecorating my house and like all the like farmhouse like stuff, and so like I kind of just like that chic. Like all of our products are like white now, so they're very pretty, very chic. Like they look so good. So I've been like thinking about, you just think about like what's gonna look pretty like with our products. And so you can go to Walmart and get a white tablecloth for $1. Like I got white, and like you can just dispose of it. Like I said, it's $1. And then like the sample cups are $1 at the Dollar Tree. And then I said I think I got a ton of stuff from the Dollar Tree. But Amazon has like a ton of like really cool stuff too. If you just type in like coffee signs, clipboards, pins, like they'll bring up so much stuff that you can use. Or you can just type in PopUp Shops supplies, and I guarantee you it's gonna bring up tons of stuff you can use. But just having like, even if you don't take a Keurig or anything, you just take a pre-made coffee, and like when it's gone, it's gone. That way you kind of like limit, what you're giving away and stuff, but just use the products you have, and then just get your own personality and just kind of just figure out what you want to do, but you kind of just put your own vibe like with it. So like if you like the white, if you like black, like just you can pop it up and make it look any way you want to. It doesn't have to look any certain way. But another thing I like to do is you guys can get on eSuite in the document library and print this stuff off. Like you can go to a library, like if you don't have a printer, go to a library, go to a UPS store. Anywhere like that will let you print stuff and just print it off. Like you don't have to order these big fancy banners to be successful. You can literally go to eSuite to the document library and print them off and just put them in a cute picture frame. You can get a picture frame from Walmart or the Dollar, I think the Dollar Tree probably has them too. And like Ross, TJ Maxx, like anything, you just get a cute picture frame, put the paper in there, and it'll make it look so cute.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that. And I love what you said about the picture frames, because I have like the 3 that are in that Amazon thing just like sitting in a little stack in my corner of the room, and I'm like
it's addicting.
Something in eventually, but yeah.
The first one we did, we had so much stuff on it, and I was like, because we couldn't decide what we wanted to do, so we were like, just had everything, and she were like, we could probably downsize, like we don't have to have all of this stuff on there.
I loved it. It was so cute. I literally saved every picture you had, because I was like, this is exactly what I'm doing. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but like it needs to look just like this, because it was seriously so cute. And like I know online there was like little succulents, like the little like cacti, I don't even know what it's called. And I was like, that's not me. I was like, I'm not going to use those. But I ended up buying them anyways, and I put them in my living room, and it looks so cute. But like, I don't know, like I love how everything we have, like it's just so like, I don't know, it just looks so like nice. So I'm super excited. Again, if anyone has any questions for her, please ask while she's on here, just to make it easy. That was perfect, Molly. You literally sent a question as soon as I said that. So Molly asked, when you're not at a vendor event and at a business, how do you open convo with people to have them come to your table?
I say, hey girl, I have some fat burning coffee over here. Do you want to try it? Like, or hey girl, I have samples over here. Come over here and get you a cup of coffee. Or just like, hey girl, do you drink coffee? I have some that's going to burn fat for you. Like, just super simple. Like, just don't make it like, Hillary, I wish I could like unmute her. She said one time we were in the boutique and she was like, I have the perfect way, the perfect thing. And I was like, what? She goes, someone tries on a pair of jeans and they're too tight. Say, oh, hey girl, I have a way that you're going to get skinny. Like you can fit into those jeans. She's so funny. And I was like, oh, I love it. Like,
I would have said that and like not even realized it. That's so funny.
I mean, even if you have wraps on hand, be like, hey girl, I got
you.
Inches off of you in the next 45 minutes. Like, just come over here.
That is so funny. I would be like, you can't fit in that. It's fine. Just come over here.
But like, just don't be like, you don't have to be weird and awkward. No, like she's hilarious. Like,
I would have stuttered and probably just like word vomited. It's fine. That is so funny.
But it doesn't have to be like weird or awkward. You just like say, hey, like, do you drink coffee? Like, hey, like, and usually like So another thing that like we were talking about at our last vendor event was we always say like our distributors are our best customers. So like because we all love the products, we're all ordering the products. Like your distributors and your team are your best customers. Those are who you need to be communicating with, who need to be on the products, ordering the products. And so I was like, do not forget to be offering the products and the samples to the people you're hosting for. Like if you're at a pop-up shop, like we were at Maurice's and there were 3 girls that were working that day because it was for Black Friday. And we made sure we took them up like a really good like size sample or even a cup of coffee and say, hey girl, like since you were hosting for us, we wanted to let you try it for free and gave them a sample. And if they like it, they're going to order. But those are like already like 3 people right there that you're like, or, you know, however many people are working that day. Just give them a sample and just be like, since you're letting us do this, we wanted to give you a sample and let you try it out for free. Like no big deal. Let me know what you think. And then if they try it, and I think we even gave them the energy sticks. Like they're working, it's Black Friday, they need energy. So we're like, and take one of these. Like if you like caffeine, like girl, you're gonna get through Black Friday when you take one of these. And it was so funny because like one of the girls, like after she took it, about 30 minutes later, she was literally like would not sit down. Like she was like you can tell like she's feeling it. But those are like gonna be your best customers too. Like if you just pop up for people and you sign 1 or 2 customers that you're popping up for, like Jennifer was the girl that I popped up for the first time, and she ordered 2 bags of coffee and the greens. And I've known her since high school, and she just now ordered because she got to taste it in person. So don't forget, like those people that you're popping up for are your customers too.
Yeah, I love that. And then also because I'm green, I just thought about this. Do you have to have any like nutrition labels or anything out? Or
we haven't. Nobody's ever said anything. They haven't ever.
Okay,
I don't know if I'm
like
supposed to.
Someone
but
would ask.
As far as I know, it's like we didn't have to.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, that was really all my questions. My last one was just like about the table, but you've already answered that, so I'm not gonna ask you again. But yeah, so if anyone has other questions, please ask her while she's here. Like I said, that was anything I can think of for right now. I'm sure I'll probably.
They're so fun. They're addicting.
So I'm like not mad, but I'm like, this is simple. I like overcomplicate everything, and I'm like, I could have figured that out. Like, given me like a week, I probably could have like figured that out.
Well, that's me too. But like Hillary, like I asked her, and she was like so pumped. I'm like, okay, tell me like what we would need to do. Like, tell me like what you're thinking. And so like, but when we were talking about it, we were both like, okay, I'm messaging. Like I sent her my list. I'm like, I'm messaging all these people now about popping up, and like we talked to each other like about popping up, but like, or you know, about what we're doing on social media, and like our goal. Like each day too is like, okay, how many people are you going to contact about us popping up? So like we put that into like our daily goals. Mm-hmm. Like we do social media, how many people are going to message on Instagram and Facebook and post a post and do all that stuff with social, but then put in there, how many people are you going to contact that you can get an in-person contact with? So make that part of your goals too every day so that you can get stuff scheduled. And just being in person does so much. And when people like see you getting out there, like I have had customers come to me like that weren't even aren't customers, that have never been customers before, that just saw us being popped up in our hometown, and they're like, okay, I see you popped up, I see you giving samples and stuff, just I'm ready to order, just what do I need to do? Like they see you in person, so they see like they're kind of getting that like trust that you're confident enough to like give people samples in person and to be out in public and in person and stuff. So you're just building those relationships, and people see you out working and they see you out doing something different rather than just social media. Yeah. Like you're doing something different rather than just only messaging on Instagram and Facebook, only posting. Like they see you out, and like it's really cool you can bring those people into your social.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then also, Molly asked in the chat, did you have sample cups ready to go or pour as they come? I did one and set several out. It seemed like I needed to milk frother each sample every 10 minutes or so. And so like that's what you keep in the tumbler thing, right?
Yeah, so I actually didn't pour it until they wanted the sample, just because I wanted it to stay hot. And so I know like as it gets kind of colder, like it gets a little bit thicker and stuff. And so it's what I would do like whenever I was making each cup and pouring it into the container. I think like I said, it holds like 4 or 5. I was making it with the frother and everything, making it real smooth before I poured it in to the container, and did that with all of them. And then when it was completely done and like almost filled up, I put the frother in, mixed it up real good, and then closed it. And I feel like when it was staying hot. Like it was staying like mixed up and thin. Like when it gets colder and it like starts to cool off is when it starts to get thicker. And so you probably need to like mix it up a little bit more. But whenever I was keeping it hot, I wasn't having that problem. But even if you like open it up every hour or so and like stir it up just to make sure, I mean, we weren't having any problems. And so we just did it as we went just because I wanted it to stay hot.
Yeah. So you just did like hot water, packet of coffee, thing of greens, and just like poured that as it comes.
Yeah, and mixed it up really, really, really good, and then poured it into the cup. Okay. Yeah, and I said, and then like when people asked me about it, I talked about the chocolate, greens, and the coffee. I didn't just talk about the coffee, just it, because I was promoting it together. So like I'm like, oh girl, like for however much Mocha Dream is, like you're gonna get this much off because we're gonna give you a discount on your first month. And so like because it's a really the Mocha Dream, it's a really big discount. So it's an upsell. Yeah. So when you just market it like that instead of just the coffee, like you assume they're going to want both. But if they think that's too expensive, then you can go down to like, okay, well, then let's just try you the coffee. And then next month we can add the greens if you want to. But like, don't start with just the coffee because it's going to be harder to like climb back up with the greens. Like just start it as a combo. And if it's too expensive, then you can always like knock it down to just the coffee. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. I'm excited. Get out there and just do it. Like once you do one or two, you're going to be so excited and you're going to be like, this is so simple and so easy. Like, and I don't know, I like being in front of people and talking to people. So it just kind of builds that like interaction. Yeah. Like I said, if you can just sign one or two customers from each pop-up, that's totally worth it. Exactly. And like, I love how like, I don't know, you can just like feel the excitement. Like today, like, I don't know why I haven't done this. I have not posted like a story talking about like why I'm in the business. Like it's so dumb, but I was like, I literally worked for my phone today and I took pictures. I had like 5 girls swipe up like, is this really what you do? And I was like, where have I been? I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's so crazy. But it's like, if they can see you, like they see that excitement. And so like, I don't know. I'm excited. Yes. And also too, like if you're feeling like you're in a funk, like Mike always says, like if you're feeling like you're in a funk, you feel like things aren't going anywhere, you're just down, get to an event, get on a Zoom, get on a call, like always stay invested and always stay, like even, I know it's hard during the holiday season and stuff. I'm mad about it being on every Zoom and every call and stuff. But if you do and you stay plugged in, you're going to stay excited. And I know like with social media, like if things aren't happening instantly, like you kind of get that like the hamster wheel, you feel like you're just like your wheels are turning and nothing's happening. But if you get out there in person, it's going to like excite you. Like I feel like I'm just so like re-excited and re-energized kind of. It's kind of like you do the same thing over and over and over again. But like I was to a point that I was ready for something else. Like I've built on social media for almost 5 years. Like I'm also really good in person. I just never do it. So it was really fun to like get out of my comfort zone and just do it because I just feel like I'm like re-excited about it. And like, that's kind of just like where I want to like focus because I'm just so excited. That was like one thing I was telling Shay, and I was like, I swear, like doing pop-ups, like in-person things is like what I need to do to like break out of that barrier. Cause I was like, it terrifies me. It's not that like, if someone like, I have the little like mini Blitz card on my, what is the purse? I just forgot what the word purse was on my Lanta. Like girls will say like, what is that? And like, I'll talk to them about the wrap. It's like no big deal, but it's like, I just have like, I'm just so weird about like starting that. But also someone in the chat said, when you offer the skinny coffee, are you offering 2 bags of coffee in the greens or just the 1 bag of coffee in the greens? Nope, I do the 2 bags of coffee and the greens because I promote it as a month supply. So like when you get the 1 bag of coffee, then you add the Mocha Dream, it's adding another bag of coffee and the chocolate greens. And so therefore they get a month supply of both. So that's how I market it, as in like, because I mean, with 1 bag, they get 15 servings. And so I just like to market it as a full month. So I'm like, okay, well, for the first month, your full month will be, and then give them that price. So it's kind of easier to market that way instead of them being like, well, why do I only get 15 packets? Or like, and so it's just easier to market it as like 1 month supply. So I said 1 bag of coffee and then add the Mocha Dream to that bag. Yeah, I agree to that. And I do that for all of our products like collagen, BFF. And like what I tell them, like if they say like, I think collagen's like $40. If they say like, well, 80 is too much or like 80 is too expensive, I'm like, they'll just start with 1 bag. Cause it's the same thing as upselling, just like start and go down small. Cause like if they don't even want to spend 40, then it's like, okay, sample. And it's like, but like if you start, because then you feel weird about like, doing anything else. Exactly. So like I love, I just forgot. I lost my train of thought. It's a night. But yeah. So thank you so much for doing this. I'm so excited. I learned
so many notes. Let's see. Okay.
Do you open up? Oh, somebody had a question. Do you open up Convo about the company's background and stuff? The same place trying and talk about what they were trying or just question. Okay, so I really you want to try to keep things really simple, because I said you're going to get their contact information whenever because I mean, who doesn't want a free month supply of something? They're gonna, I mean, it's easy just to put their name and number on there. So when you contact them, you can go over that if they ask, but most of the time they just want to know about the product that they're tasting. And so I just keep it super simple. Because I mean, if you say you have 100 people coming through, that's not I mean, 5 seconds, you're really going to get maybe a minute if you're super busy. That's not a lot of time. You're not going to do it's justice to tell about the company's background and everything that we offer and stuff, because you're not going to have enough time to do it. But if it's really, really slow and you're getting just a person here or there, which is sometimes what you do, but it's totally worth it because you're getting out there. But if it's slow, then you can be let me tell you some more about it. But I mean, if not, then I always just keep it super simple, just about the product, unless they ask, what company is this? Or I'm okay, well, have you ever heard of ItWorks? And then usually they're oh yeah, I think I've heard of the wrap. And then it's open to oh, well, actually we just launched a keto line. We just launched a new skincare line. Just tell them that we've we've revamped so much since just the wrap. It's a cool way to open up the new market of stuff too. But I said I always just keep it super simple. And I kind of think about it like I do social media. Sometimes I try not to answer too many questions that aren't asked. So if you get too wordy, they're going to lose interest. Because if you keep them for 20 minutes talking about this company, they're going to be oh, okay, I want to get away from this girl. But if you just keep it simple, if they ask questions, answer them. Like I said, try not to just overwhelm them with information that they're going to be okay, I want to get away from this person.
That's me, because I just
don't be a car salesman.
I just word vomit on people. I'm just bleh, and it just everything comes out. And I remember talking to someone in person one time. I could feel her kind of that, and I just stopped talking. I was I just shut my mouth. I was I've said way too much now. And it was so
I get really
funny.
wordy, but I also talk so fast. When I'm excited and I'm talking about something, I talk 90 miles an hour. So when they're just nodding, I'm I need to slow down. But then when I try to slow down, I forget what I'm going to say. So it's I just try to keep it super simple. And then I'm because I'm if I get in too much into this, they're not going to understand a word I'm saying.
Yeah, I love that. And then also, do you just keep the, if someone has, why can't I find words? Has anyone ever asked you about the business whenever you're doing these? Or do you just kind of keep it as product? Does that make sense?
I pretty much keep it just as products, but there is a cool sign that I saw on there that's really cool, become an influencer, and so if they ask about it, then you can give all the information and stuff, but I don't really lead with that because they're sampling. But if they be okay, well, this is what you do to make money, or well, because most of the time when they're sampling it because they want to be a customer, or they want to try it and stuff. But I mean, you can always turn those into potential distributors if they love it. And so whenever you get all that contact information, and you're you're responding to these people to let them know you did the giveaway, they didn't win, but you will give them a really big discount just for entering. And if they say they don't have the money or it's too expensive, be well, have you ever considered earning an extra income? Because you're already getting these phone numbers. So you're going to be following up from your event, just like you would if you were on social media. But you're going to get way more leads in person than you, like I said, for that 5 hours, you could get over 100 leads as if you were on social media having to sit there for a couple of days to get that many follow-ups.
Yeah, that's so true.
How long is it going to take you to get 100 phone numbers to follow up with? When you're on Instagram, how many messages are you going to have to send to get 100 phone numbers?
Yeah, that would
a lot. So if you're just getting their name and phone number, and it's just opening a way for you to contact them.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And then someone said when you talked about order forms, is it on Document Library? Yeah, you can literally just go look at that. And I think you just type in order. I don't know. It's super easy to find. It's not hard.
Yeah, just type in order form and it'll pop up, I think, loyal customer order form. And you just download it and it's really clean. It's really simple. It has on the right side of it, it has boxes where they can check what product they want and the quantity. Just like I said, if you were selling something a fundraiser in high school, it's basically that simple. They put their name, their phone number, their email, all that stuff, and they just write it down and then they give you back the clipboard. It's so easy.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So if anyone has any other questions, please throw them now. I'm going to stop this recording in like a minute. I just want to make sure we get all these questions answered. But thank you so freaking much for doing this.
You're welcome. I'm excited.
Now. Yeah, like I'm excited because like this is
you guys need to tag me if you get out there and you do them. Tag me because I want to see you guys. Like our team has been implementing them. I get so excited when I see like my team doing them too because it's just a new way to build. Like it's not just social media. Like, and also I think it's good for your team to see that they can build other ways.
Yes.
I think like I kind of used to do myself a disadvantage because I only built on social media when some people are more powerful in person. Like they might build better in person. So like being able to teach your team that, like there's multiple ways to build is going to be so beneficial for you guys.
Yeah, like I remember even like telling some like distributors, like we can do in person, and like if that's what you want to do, like I can help as much as I possibly can. But like social media, so like I'm excited to like kind of just like break that. I'm like, no, like I can do both.
Yeah.
Like why
and
not?
You guys can team up with people not on your team. Like if you have sideline sisters, like if you have just somebody local to you that does ItWorks, they don't have to be on your team, that sideline anybody, just be like, hey, let's partner up and do an event, or let's partner up and do a pop-up. That way you're not by yourself. And when it comes down to it, you can just split the customer, like split the potentials and stuff halfway down the list. Like I said, most of the time you're not going to know all of them. So just split them 50-50. They take half, you take half. And then like I say, if it's 100 names, you get 50 each to follow up with. So it's really cool to like partner up with people and do them together so that you don't feel like you're by yourself.
Yeah. I love that. I am so flipping excited. Also, if anyone lives in Houston, Trisha is looking for a girl in Houston or a guy. I don't know if there's guys on here. So if you're in Houston, contact Trisha. So thank you so much for doing this. Like I said, I'm going to say it 5 more times. I'm seriously so excited. So again, thank you so much.
Go do them. I'm excited to see you guys.
Yes, I will definitely be texting and sending all the pictures. I'm excited.
Yes, let me know if you guys have any questions or if you need anything. I'm excited to see them all.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, you guys. Y'all have a good night.